Between 2008 and 2011, England and Wales witnessed a stark reality with 81 children being convicted of murder, shedding light on the deeply troubling issue of juvenile violence. This unsettling trend extends across the Atlantic, as statistics from the United States reveal that children kill a parent at a staggering rate of 5 times per week, constituting approximately 1% of all homicides in the country. Daniel Bartlam is in his teens, living in Nottingham, UK. The vibrant city in the heart of England offers a dynamic blend of urban energy and natural beauty. Its rich history, lively cultural scene, and attractive life create an inviting environment. People living here are busy in their professional and personal lives. No one interferes with others. Daniel Bartlam, a 14-year-old boy, was living with his younger brother and single mother, but he was feeling alone and stressed. It leaves a negative impact on his psyche. Daniel belongs to a broken family. In fact, his parents were divorced after his younger brother's birth. This was the prime thing that negatively impacted the boy's personality. He had to meet his father on weekends since he was living with his mother. Jacqueline Bartlam was making hard efforts to take care of her kids. She raised him in a stable home. However, they had to move from one place to another or different areas in Nottingham in the UK. Therefore, Daniel faced the problem of changing the school. This was the main issue for him because adjustment to the new place took work for him. He could only make new friends in some schools and adjust to the new environment. Thus, the boy used to sit alone in the class or any of the isolated areas of the school during the break time. Due to this behavior, children in every school used to bully him. This situation made him irritated and stressed. In fact, he wanted to bounce them back, but he could not. Not only this, he would spend his weekends with his father regularly after his parents' divorce. But after some months, his father found his next love and married another lady. It was a painful situation for him to see another woman next to his father. But, according to his father, he did not find anything mysterious in the boy. He was behaving like an average child. Therefore, he had nothing to worry about. But Daniel suffered from emotional turmoil, including depression and anxiety, due to all these things. It made him more depressed, and gradually, the situation worsened day by day. Instead of pushing him towards self-harm or suicidal thoughts, he started thinking about harming others, but before that, he was going into depression. The bad thing was that his mother had no time to pay attention to these things. In fact, she was busy in facing the life challenges alone. The dark future could have been avoided if she paid attention to it. The boy was facing the challenges of a broken family. A broken family, coupled with maternal ignorance due to the arrival of a new infant sibling, can have deep and complex mental effects on Daniel. When her mother scolded him for his rude behavior and destructive nature, he started disliking him. Before the incident, Daniel had grown up in what appeared to be a stable home environment. However, his mother, Jacqueline, had separated from Simon Matters, her former partner, and Daniel's behavior had taken a disturbing turn. The arrival of a new sibling, when met with maternal obsession, worsened those feelings. He perceived that his younger brother was receiving all the attention and love, leaving them feeling neglected and unimportant. Over time, these negative emotions impact his mental health, such as depression, anger issues, or difficulties forming healthy relationships. One more thing that became the reason for Daniel's aggression or hatred towards his mother was that she engaged with his new partner. She was so busy with him and her routine life that Daniel felt being ignored. According to his father, the prime thing that was noticeable was some negative things in his behavior, like he wanted to destroy things. Daniel used to harm his younger brother without bringing it to others' notice. He used to pinch him or beat him when nobody was around. For this attitude, he was punished and scolded, but it made him more furious, and he decided to take revenge on those people and harm his younger brother. Moreover, he used to insist on the laptop to spend more of his time on screen. He wanted to play games, as he told his mother. For her, It was quite a normal thing since most of the children in their early teens wanted to spend time playing video games. So, it did not bother her, but she did not buy that laptop for her since she wanted to keep him away from those things. However, by that time, Daniel's depression was increasing day by day. His behavior became negative. Daniel's mother got complaints from the school for his behavior, and she was also experiencing a negative attitude. So, she decided to bring the latest iMac version of that year from her savings, which he had been insisting on for 4 years. He used to be busy with dark movies, games, videos, and others. He spent the majority of his time alone in his bedroom, engrossed in violent video games and a collection of horror films. Notably, the Coronation Street soap opera featured a storyline in which a male character, John Stape, used a hammer to kill a woman. Daniel had video clips of these scenes, along with other violent sequences from popular films, on his computer. In fact, it was an alarming situation. It needed the concentration of parents, and boys should be taken to a mentor or psychologist for further therapy. But both the partners did not pay attention to it. Moreover, this was the time when the boy was planning a murder that no one knew would happen. And the time came when that incident took place. It was the cold yet quiet night of April 25, 2011, when Daniel's neighbor called the police and reported that some strange shouting sounds were coming from the house. It seemed that a woman was screaming and asking for help. She was shouting with pain and asking for help. In fact, she was struggling for her life's safety. However, police arrived immediately, but before their arrival, the house was on fire. Flames and smoke were very much higher, and it did not seem that anybody could escape. Police arrived as their car's siren was enough to alert people residing there. They gathered around the house and expected that no one could be saved. But fortunately, after 14 years, Daniel succeeded in saving his younger brother, dog, and laptop. However, he was crying and sad for his mother because he could not save her. Police took them to the police station to take the statements, where Daniel recorded his statement that an intruder came into the house and attacked his mother with a hammer. He hit her head with the hammer again and again until she died. Daniel was upstairs with his brother and dog in their room. They got out of the room when they heard the noise and screaming sounds of her mother. He was unable to help his mother since the intruder had lit the house on fire. The fire spread badly into the entire house, so they could not access mother. Meanwhile, he tried a lot to save his brother and dog. Police and his neighbors appreciated him since he was a child. He did not lose his mental status and performed a heroic job. He saved his sibling and pet at this early age, and this act has made him a hero. But he was very sad that he was not a hero, since he could not save his mother's life. However, it was a tragedy for his family. Police started their investigation, and the cops found a woman's body that was bunted badly. In fact, the fire and smoke were telling that nothing would have saved her. During their investigation, they came to know that a fire had started in the bedroom where the body was lying. But the strange thing was that the laptop could not get a scratch even in the fire and smoke. Moreover, the police had the idea that the intruder set the house on fire since he did not want to leave the signs of murder. But after the post-mortem, it was obvious that death did not happen due to the fire. So, Daniel briefed the story that an intruder came and murdered his mother. Police could not find anything doubtable there. Everything was clear, and the case was about to close. But the police took the laptop into custody and let the boy go after their interrogation. They started checking the device, and the mystery was solved. Police found some dark series, violent video games, and a drama where the same plan of murder as her mother had been killed. So, police took him once again for interrogation, and this time, Daniel confessed that he had murdered his mother. Simon Matters was Daniel's mother's second husband. He married the woman and took care of these 2 children. He found things mentioned above as red flags in Daniel. He informed his mother, but due to the boy's aggressive behavior, she did not want to confront him. When this incident happened, he was out of the city for some work. Simon showed his doubt regarding this murder of Daniel and revealed that he did everything in his room. Moreover, police found 2 hammers on the incident spot, while the tool used for murder was a claw hammer. This thing raised the investigation motive. At last, police found the plan in Daniel's laptop. Daniel confessed that her mother had gone to sleep, and he was sitting in the lounge calmly. He waited until she slept adequately, and then he started his action. He hit her face with the hammer to break her head. She hit on her bones to break 7 times until she died. He threw newspapers and other things to light the house on fire and did the same. Then, he went back to his room, woke up his brother, and took the dog outside to rescue them from the fire. Police asked him about the web series and other violent games. Daniel admitted his hatred towards his mother. He used to watch soap operas, but he did not enjoy watching these dramas. He watched them to take inspiration. However, most dramas were not based on reality, and they had dramatic ends and situations. He did not want any flaws in his plan. So, he needed to make a fake story and emerge it with inspiration. Police searched the house, and they went to his room, and they found the missing part of the puzzle that he had written a script of a murder story. He wrote an opera-style script on his computer. He was the main character of the script. However, he had deleted that script, and that was the reason he was not worried about the laptop that the police were checking. However, police recovered the deleted data. Daniel himself is the mastermind of the murder. He planned each and everything. The boy first killed his mother, set the house on fire, burnt a few of his hair, and went to the neighbors to call the police. Then, he took his brother to rescue him and became a hero. It was an excellent plan for him without any flaws. Police did not find anything curious, and nothing needed more investigation. He was about to move on with his life after getting rid of his mother. But the police found all those things and evidence, and it revealed his plan. Moreover, police checked his search history, and it was literally killing 101. It was shocking for police how long he was planning the murder of her mother. He admitted that he was very happy to get rid of that woman who was responsible for ruining his life. She will be no more in the world to yell and shout at him. Now, he could spend his life in a better way. On 9th February 2012, Daniel Bartlam faced the unfortunate outcome of a unanimous jury verdict, convicting him of the terrible crime of murder. Following this conviction, the judicial system acted quickly, and in April 2012, Daniel received a sentencing that would forever alter the course of his life, a minimum prison term of 16 years. Remarkably, in this case, the decision was made to lift the veil of anonymity that typically shrouds young offenders in the justice system. Despite his young age at the time of the crime, the authorities opted to disclose Daniel's identity and release details of his gruesome act to the public. This exceptional decision likely reflected the gravity of the crime and the need for transparency and accountability within the justice system. Daniel Bartlam's case serves as a chilling reminder of the complex and often tragic outcomes that can arise from actions involving violence, especially when committed by individuals at a young age. The decision to reveal his identity underscores the seriousness of the crime and the responsibility of the justice system to balance rehabilitation with the need for public awareness and safety. The debate surrounding the influence of violent media on youth behavior is not new. Critics argue that exposure to such content can desensitize individuals to violence and blur the lines between fiction and reality. However, the boy was underage, but it was a brutal act, so it needed to be a just sentence. The media's role in Daniel Bartlam's case has been significant, with a heavy focus on understanding the factors that led to this brutal attack by a 14-year-old boy. One prominent narrative that emerged was the potential influence of violent scenes in television and film on Daniel's actions. It's been suggested that he sought to replicate a crime he witnessed in media, particularly the murder plot depicted in the popular soap opera Coronation Street. This connection to media violence led to Daniel being labeled the Coronation Street Killer in some articles, a label that may haunt him. The media played a significant role in shaping public perceptions of Daniel Bartlam, Terms like devil child and savage were used by various news outlets to describe him bursting into flames, a debate about how children who commit murder are portrayed in the media. While his age evoked some sympathy compared to an adult offender, it also raised questions about the responsibility of juveniles for their actions and the potential for rehabilitation. Daniel was sent to Dr. Kathleen Heide for psychological treatment and necessary therapy. He gave his report on this case. Dr. Kathleen Heide, a distinguished professor of criminology at the University of South Florida in Tampa, has dedicated her career to studying children who commit the unfathomable act of killing their parents. Through extensive research, Dr. Heide has uncovered various factors that may heighten the risk of a child resorting to such extreme violence against a parent. During the trial in early 2012, Daniel Bartlam pleaded not guilty to murder. Instead, he claimed provocation during an argument with his mother and pleaded guilty to manslaughter. However, the jury unanimously convicted him of murder on February 9, 2012. In April 2012, he was sentenced to a minimum of 16 years in prison. One striking decision in this case was to lift the anonymity on Daniel's identity and disclose his name and details of his crime to the public despite his young age. Daniel's sentencing to a minimum of 16 years raises profound questions about the rehabilitation of young offenders and their ability to reintegrate into society. If rehabilitation efforts prove successful during his sentence, he could be released at the age of 26. However, with his identity publicly known, his prospects for rebuilding his life remain uncertain. Despite his incarceration and assumed participation in rehabilitation programs, Daniel Bartlam has never offered a comprehensive explanation for his actions on that fateful evening. The meticulous planning, the attempt to conceal the attack, and the sheer brutality of the crime make it one of the most shocking juvenile crimes in UK history, leaving society grappling with the challenges of understanding and preventing such tragedies. Where is Daniel now? As of my last knowledge update in September 2021, Daniel Bartlam, who was sentenced to a minimum of 16 years in prison for the murder of his mother, Jacqueline Bartlam, in 2012, would still be serving his sentence in a correctional facility in the United Kingdom. Typically, individuals sentenced to lengthy prison terms undergo various forms of rehabilitation, counseling, and educational programs aimed at their reintegration into society upon release. The specific prison where Daniel is incarcerated would determine the nature and extent of these programs, which may include therapy, vocational training, and educational opportunities. Additionally, juvenile offenders like Daniel often receive age-appropriate interventions and support to address the underlying issues that led to their crimes. The goal is to not only hold them accountable for their actions, but also to provide them with the tools necessary for personal growth and rehabilitation. Moreover, he is kept under strict protection and police custody so that he cannot be able to attempt any other crime. He is taking his psychology treatments and sessions to improve his mental health.